Senate demands a list of beneficiaries of BUHARI'S social intervention scheme. Nigerian Army to upgrade procurement system. Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation challenged consultants to National Assembly on Petroleum Industry Bill. Details of this and other stories in a moment. The Committee on Appropriation is seeking an update on the implementation of the Social Intervention Program introduced by the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, which stipulates the payment of 5,000 naira stipend to indigent Nigerians. The committee made this demand on Thursday at a budget defense hearing on the National Social Investment Program. TVN's correspondent completes the story.
The Nigerian Senate has demanded for the submission of a list of beneficiaries of the 5,000 naira social intervention scheme, an initiative which is one of the campaign promises of President Muhammadu Buhari. The Senate Committee on Appropriation made its demand on Thursday at a budget defense hearing attended by the Special Advisor to the President on National Social Investment Program, BUHARI'S. Chairman of the committee, Senator Danjuma Goje, expressed disappointment that Nigerians are yet to feel the impact of the social intervention program of the Buhari-led government, despite the sum of 500 billion naira appropriated for the scheme in the 2016 and 2017 budgets.
We have asked you to give us detailed report on as to the beneficiaries of your program. Not only the 5 naira, 85, all other beneficiaries.
30,000.
On the basis of your submission, we will see whether we will approve your 500 billion naira or we will reduce this time around. We have not reduced for the first time. We have not reduced 2016 budget. We gave, Mr. President, we gave you 500 billion. Whether they release or they don't release, that's not our job is not release. Our job is to give. We appropriated 500 billion naira for you, half a trillion. 2017, we appropriated 500 billion naira. 2018 will appropriate on the basis of your performance.
Senator Goje laments that the social intervention program seems to be performing at cross purposes with the intention of the president, as they are doing very poorly in the area of publicity.
And we call you because Mr. President, while campaigning, he was the one who first announced this program that is going to pay 5,000 naira per month stipend, plus other things to the poor. And I know Mr. President is a politician. He didn't do it just because he wants God to hear that so that he will go to heaven. He did it in order to get votes so that Nigerians will appreciate him as somebody who cares for the poor. The Ministry of Budget has been submitting 500 billion naira proposal. The National Assembly has been approving 500 billion naira without reduction of 1 kobo. Unfortunately for Mr. President, the program does not get the necessary publicity and attention that it deserves.
On their part, a cross-section of members of the Committee on Appropriation questions the criteria for selecting beneficiaries of the Social Intervention Program, as only 20 states have so far benefited.
You see, in this list, there is no Yobe State, and I'm aware that we don't even have a coordinator in Yobe State. Meanwhile, you have spent this 175 billion naira in 2 years. My state has been completely out of this. Now, he asked one simple question, saying, look, if you read the heading of this report, you are saying summary of beneficiaries enrolled and paid in each state.
What is the justice? What is the justification in leaving some states out and spending money on others? Because if you have a program that you want to carry out, you should ensure that all the states have complied before you start disbursement. Because yes, don't say, madam, that is the truth. We are here to represent our different constituencies and states, and we would like to see that nobody is shortchanged.
You remember, to avoid this type of wrangling, was it last year when you met us downstairs here? We suggested that for this to be, so that every state will feel it, you can, this power program, nominate whether 50-50 person per senator or be 40 per House of Rep members, then which you said they were all agreed on it, and that they should send the names, which we feed that time and submitted, including the supervisor and all the rest. So that this thing should have, if you have done that, all these talking should have arisen.
Responding, the special advisor to the President on National Social Investment Program explained the criteria for selecting beneficiaries of the scheme.
When we work with NOA, we work with the communities to help us select who are the poor people. We put them on a register. That register so far is almost 650,000 households, not people. Now, it is only from those households that, because we have their demographics, we visit their homes, we ask them, what assets do you have? What children do you have? How many children? How many have gone to school? What are your skills? We put them on a device. Even the governors don't know. They are complaining that they don't know who has been selected.
Money for this project.
No. Yes, so that is it.
The 5,000 Naira Social Intervention Scheme is a key part of Muhammadu Buhari's campaign promises. Charles Ibe, TVN News, Abuja.
The Nigerian Army says it is upgrading its procurement system to ensure accountability. This was revealed at the opening session of the second edition of the Army Headquarters Procurement Seminar for 2018. Our correspondent, Austin Peacemaker, has more on this.
In a bid to find a lasting solution to procurement challenges facing the Army, the Nigerian Army will upgrade its procurement processes. This formed the focus of the second edition of the Army Headquarters Procurement Seminar at the Army Resource Center in Abuja. The seminar, with the theme Optimizing Nigerian Army Operational Capabilities Through Effective Procurement System, had in attendance the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Buratai, and the Chairman of the Ask Committee on Nigerian Army, Honorable Ramadi Shaulu, as the special guest of honor, among others.
This seminar, therefore, provides a veritable platform for us to familiarize and educate ourselves sufficiently on procurement matters that will enable the Nigerian Army compete successfully in the opportunities that arise from the implementation of the national budget.
We all do know that the logistic requirements of our present security environment are numerous and expensive. It therefore becomes imperative that the Nigerian Army sets its priorities right and develops an efficient and effective procurement process in accordance with extant regulations to maximize the use of linked resources.
The seminar is said to be apt, looking at the need to strengthen the capacity of the Nigerian Army towards meeting the growing security challenges of our times as a nation. It is hoped this move by the Army will successfully improve the procurement method in line with the provision of the Public Procurement Act of 2007. Austin Peacemaker, Inaide, TVN News.
After the break, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation challenged consultants to NAS on petroleum industry bill. Thanks for staying tuned. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has challenged the consultant to the National Assembly on Petroleum Industry Reform Bill (PIB) to take a comprehensive look at the issues in the oil and gas sector and make bold recommendations that could engender enduring reforms. The Group Managing Director, Dr. Mekanti Baru, stated this at a consultative meeting with the consultants to the National Assembly led by the lead consultant and former Director of the Department of Petroleum Resources, Mr. Austin Olorunshola. Baru noted that the major complaint by operators in the industry is that of multiple taxation, which includes statutory contributions to the Niger Delta Development Commission, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, as well as sundry expenses on security. He further stated that the NNPC was interested in the segment of the petroleum industry bill relating to the fiscal terms and was ready to spend considerable time and effort to ensure that the National Assembly got it right in the interest of the nation, adding that NNPC would work closely with the consultants to arrive at models that can respond to future challenges in the industry. And in sport, the Nigerian table tennis team began their campaign in the men's team Group 4 at the Gold Coast 2018 Commonwealth Games in Australia on a bright note by defeating Malaysia and Belize in the opening two ties on Thursday. Olajide Omotayo defeated Chi Feng from Malaysia in 3 straight sets in his second match of the day. Omotayo had earlier defeated Rohit Pagarani from Belize in his first game. Bode Abiodun also beat Mohamed Rizal from his Malaysia in his second game after he had outclassed Devesh Hukmani, also from Belize, in his first game. In the men's team doubles, the pair of Aziz Jamiu and Olajide Omotayo lost to Javenchung and Chi Feng Leong from Malaysia. They had earlier defeated Terry Su and Devesh Hukmani from Belize, while Jamiu bounced back from the team's doubles defeat to edge Mohamed Rizal from Malaysia 3-2 in a keenly contested game. Another foreign scene. Despite the Chinese government's documentation allowing freedom of worship in the country, Bibles can no longer be purchased online in China, as searches on popular e-commerce sites do not produce results. Although China had always controlled sales of the Bible by only allowing it to be distributed and printed by state-sanctioned churches, it had before now been available to be bought online. The disappearance of Bibles on internet retailers is the latest restriction the country had placed on its fast-growing Christian population, which has also seen crosses being removed from churches, while Christians suspected of worshipping at home have been detained. A new Chinese government white paper on religious freedoms published this week asserted that all faiths must adapt themselves to the socialist society. To end the news, a recap of the major stories. Senate demands a list of beneficiaries of Buhari's social intervention scheme. Nigerian Army to upgrade procurement system. Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation challenged consultants to National Assembly on Petroleum Industry Bill. And that's the news on Television Nigerian. But before we go, I leave you with this thought. Who you are tomorrow most likely begins with what you do today. I'm Eunice Johnson. Have a beautiful day ahead.